way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all of forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner Aidan Greeny lights the last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. And then we have a few minutes until the band starts playing at 20 past, and then the service will begin with a sing-along at 10:30. Okay, don't want that. Good to see you. How fantastic, both of you together. How wonderful.
We were fine. You look
I
like
know
that.
it was fun.
I'll study with you.
Oh, thank you. Study you, Blue. Oh, good. Good. Good morning. How are you? Good, good, good.
All right. Good morning, everybody. That last feature was a little surprised by Mr. Bill Dixon over there on the bass. All right. We would like to welcome you here to the Center for Spiritual Living San Clemente. We're so glad you're here with us this beautiful July morning. And we'd like you to join us on some music next. So we have our first sing-along song, David Alt's song, called I'm Here to Remind You. And here it is.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. You're here to remind me of my magnificence, to help me awake to all the wonder that I am. You long to show me all the joy I'm worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
All right, I'd like to introduce our musicians this morning. We have our regular fabulous band. On guitar, Ed Cusby. On bass, Bill Dixon. On drums, David Page. Our song leaders, Wade and Kimberly Wooldridge. Our soloist this morning is the fabulous Debbie Wheeler. And we have a surprise guest helping me out this morning at Offertory, Michael Bullard, all the way from New York City. All right, now it's your turn to stand on up and join us on another sing-along song called, very appropriately, Stand.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now.
And time to go and meet and greet your neighbor. Go say hello. Good morning. And work your way on back because we have more singing to do. And here we are. So let there be peace.
I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world.
One more
now.
time.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
Yes, we are. Boy, you can feel that connection, that energy, that love in this room. You're lighting up like a bunch of light bulbs this morning. The light is beautiful. Good morning. My name is Judy Chapman. I'm one of the assistant ministers here at the center, and it is my delight and my joy to welcome each and every one of you here this morning. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. We are a center that is all welcoming. We are a center that is trans-denominational. So whatever culture or whatever faith you are here from or still continuing to practice, you are welcome here because we are here to love you and surround you with God's love and energy. We practice here spiritual practices, and one of the most powerful ones is affirmative prayer. So I would love for you to join me. So as we go within to that place of perfect understanding, to that place of peace and quiet and unconditional love, knowing that there is only one life, it is the life of God, and it is our life right here and now. There is only one creative intelligence. There is only one divine essence. There is only one unconditional love. There is only one. And this essence, this presence, this beloved energy lives and moves and expresses as each one of us. For we surely are the sacred activity of spirit. We are the light. We are the joy. We are the beauty of God. So this morning I affirm and I decree that all is well, and that each one of us is open, receptive, and welcomes this energy, this light, this love within us. We listened this morning with our spiritual ears to the wonderful message of Dr. Heather. We listen with expectation, with love, knowing that the abundance of God lives and moves through us. And so I place these words into divine mind, knowing that we are alive, awake, and aware of this presence within us. Knowing that these words are the truth and they are already created in the mind of God. And so as it is with deep gratitude and thanksgiving that I release my word, I let it go with confidence, joy, and divine energy as we say together, and so it is. Okay, I'd like to invite Kim Province up to this platform for our affirmation.
Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to say the affirmation and it will show up here and we'll all say it together. We are open, receptive, and welcoming of all people, all faiths, and all paths to God. Join me.
We are open, receptive, and welcoming of all people, all faiths, and all paths to God.
And so it is.
Thank you, Kim, so much. And please welcome Debbie Wheeler.
It's always such a joy to be here, and today is no different. So thank you for having me.
So many things we can't control, so much hurt that happens every day, so many heartaches that pierce the soul, so much pain that won't ever go away. How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight, and nobody really wants to go to war. If everyone wants to make things right, then what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand the power to heal? It's right here in our hands. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And it's not enough to talk about it. It's not enough to sing a song. We must walk the walk about it. You and I, do or die. We've got to try to get along. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember same things, and maybe we'll find if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we'll always remember we can be
Debbie Wheeler, thank you so much. And please welcome Reverend Heather Dawn Clark.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. So love to see you. So welcome, welcome, welcome. My message this morning is entitled Open, Receptive, and Welcoming. And it comes from the Centers for Spiritual Living organizational design model, which has a statement that we intend as centers that every single center be open, receptive, and welcoming of all faiths, of all spiritual practices, of every religion. Some of us do it better than others, but it is something that the whole organization is committed to stand in that place where we see back of every single person that presence that is God, that presence that is life itself, regardless of how that presence is acting, regardless of how that presence is behaving. But what we are determined to see is good everywhere or God everywhere. You know, and if we can do that, then we can retain our peace of mind at all times. And what a great one of our members sent me an email this week saying this is what she was meditating on, so to get her through the 2 weeks of conventions, and and it was pretty good. But it was too long for me to share with you. But just there was an idea. Oh, I could use my spiritual practice to view rather than be in resistance to either one or the other, anything. And that's all I'm going to say because this is not a political talk. This is about us being open and receptive. And here's the thing: we as a community can only be open and receptive if each one of us is open, receptive, and welcoming. So it starts within each one of us. It starts within us of saying, okay, and here's the thing, here's what we all know. It's really easy to be open, receptive, and welcoming of the people who are like us, our friends, right? It's really, really easy to be open. Gosh, it's so good to see you. But what about the person that has a radically different point of view? What about the person that dresses differently? What about the homeless person that hasn't had a place of their own to sleep? What about those people? Can we be radically inclusive of everyone? You know, I believe we can, and I do believe that it takes practice, because one of the things that we aren't aware of, we have a blind spot. Every single one of us have blind spots, right? Just like I drive a Prius, and this is my second Prius, and it has a terrible blind spot. Some other Prius drivers, I mean, you have to be very careful when you're changing lanes, because the mirrors and all of the things that Toyota has done to alleviate that blind spot doesn't quite do it. But as I said, this is my second Prius. So either I'm a slow learner, which is possible because you always are teaching what you need to learn, or there were so many of the good things about it, such as being environmentally friendly and therefore in tune with my values, that I would put up with the blind spot. I'd acknowledge it, be careful about it, and live with it. So maybe there are places in your life you can relate to that idea, that if I'm open, receptive, and welcoming to other people, first of all, it has to start with myself. Am I open, receptive, and welcoming of everything I am? Now, here we've learned to judge. We learned it long ago. We learned to judge and evaluate and make wrong, and then um, the voice within us that some people call monkey mind, some call it. Yesterday, I went to a seminar and he was calling it the drunken monkey. Because the drunken monkey gives us all sorts of advice that's bad. The bad advice, but it's always chattering away, telling us how to live our lives. So that part of us, can we make it welcome? Because until we can acknowledge it and make it welcome, it's going to just get bigger and louder and more active within us. So making every part of yourself welcome. One of the person who put this lesson ideas together, the minister who did so, is a minister that has it's a young adults group called the Launching Pad. It's in I think Berkeley. I just said it might not be the right place, but anyway, Reverend Linda Rapond, Reverend Dr. Linda Rapond, and one of the things that she highlighted was other people who are already doing this, unusual. And, when after 9/11, when, when Muslim faith were wanting to build mosques, they were having trouble finding communities that would accept the mosques. Anyway, this was so in a small town, I get this, is in Tennessee, in Cordova, Tennessee, not the most open and welcoming state given their new legislation, but it was in Tennessee. And what this Christian church did, it had a sweet name like the Honey Church or the Sweet Church or something like that. And I'm sorry I didn't memorize that. But they made the the Muslim faith in their community welcome there for the whole month of Ramadan. And they had a big sign outside their church. The Honey Church welcomes all Muslims to practice their faith here in our church during this month. And they became such good. The minister of that, I think it was a Baptist church, and the imam of the mosque became great friends. The communities became friends, and they started doing things together. They started feeding the homeless together. And where did it start? It started by one community saying, here's another community that doesn't have a place to worship, and we do. How could we share what we have? And that kind of generosity is the hallmark of welcoming. That kind of generosity. So that was really a good thing. As I just mentioned, yesterday I went to the In Spirit Center for Spiritual Living, which is in Mission Viejo, a sister center. Reverend Sandy Moore is the senior minister there. And the reason I went was there was a seminar there. A guy by the name of Don Hobbs was giving a seminar. He used to be from Orange County. And he is a trainer for Keller Williams Real Estate. He's a trainer. And he's one of the most spiritual people I've ever met. And he did a training with us yesterday. It was fantastic. It was filled with spiritual truth. It was filled with practical ideas of how to live a better life. So what we know is everything starts with an idea. Everything out here in form, everything that we stand for, everything we make welcome starts with an idea. Starts with an idea. And here's the thing, we've all been filled up with ideas. We've all been filled up with ideas. They become our beliefs. They become our programs. So stand up, please. I never do this. In fact, I train ministers not to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, and just gently pat your head. These are your beliefs. This is your programming. Pat your head. It's just like every idea is becoming a belief, becoming a program. So my programs become my thoughts. Point your head. My program becomes my thoughts. Say that. My program becomes my thought. My thoughts become my feelings. My feelings become my actions. My actions become my results. Okay, so now just the results you want are up here, right? You want really great results. But sometimes the results that we're getting are down here, right? Okay, so let's do that again. Okay, my programming creates my thoughts. My thoughts create my feelings. My feelings create my actions. My actions create my results, right? Okay, I need to do it again. So my programming creates my thoughts. My thoughts create my feelings. My feelings create my actions. My actions create my results. Okay, you may be seated. So here's the thing. What you just did is you now have a total body experience of the principle that we teach here in every class, every Sunday, and that is that thoughts become things. How do they become things? They become things by becoming a belief. And so many of those beliefs that we have, that patting was before we were even conscious we were getting beliefs. And some of those beliefs that we inherited from our parents, from our teachers, from our families of origin weren't correct spiritually. They weren't healthy minded. But that doesn't mean that we don't have them. We may still have them. When we catch ourselves thinking in a way that isn't supportive of who we want to be, here's the greatest gift of all, because this comes to this, comes to this, comes to this. We can change this. We can change this. And that changes this. And when our feelings are changed, when our thoughts and feelings are changed, the new beliefs, see, then we're creating a new reality, a new consciousness, a new platform or beginning. So to be open, receptive, and welcoming requires simply your consciousness. First of all, your decision. Is that who you want to be? And I feel that my guess is yes, because you're here. Because this is a comfortable place where you feel safe and feel loved and feel like you're with like minded people. So, so how do we change those? How do we change those feelings, thoughts, program? We start with a new idea. And I've been reading several books that all say the same thing. The Science of Mind is one. And Ernest says in several places, but in my favorite quote, before the quote, he says, you simply begin by giving love to everybody. You give everybody love. You see everyone as someone worthy of being loved. In fact, I think he says something like you throw out your love to the entire world. And that's a section on friendship. If you want friends, if you want more friends, where do you start? You give love. You be loving. You give of your consciousness, of yourself. And yeah, okay. We build, we build our consciousness through the books we're reading. Um, Aiden prayed me in just before the service, and he was reminding me, and I actually started this last night, so that's how mine works, of reading the 4 chapters of The Science of Getting Rich, which isn't about financially getting rich, but it includes that. It's about changing your mind. It's about changing your consciousness. And the agreement, and this came through the Mary Morrissey work, is to read those 4 chapters every day for 90 days. 90. Reverend Bruce was talking about this on Wednesday night service. So it's like, okay, now I've heard it 3 times in a row. I need to take action on the thing. It's like the elbow, God, that divine elbow has now given me one more nudge. You know, this is the thing that's going to help. It will help me. I put it out there to you, might help you too. To do daily reading, daily spiritual reading is really important. And to be reading something that inspires you, that ignites your mind, that sets it on fire with a new idea. And these books are old. This Science of Getting Rich was, I think, written in 1902 or something like that. It's very old. But the truth within it is spot on, current, relevant, right here, right now, today. One of the so that's one of the books that I'm reading. Of course, I read The Science of Mind. I read the 365 um, days with Ernest 365 Ernest Holmes daily readings, and the Science of Mind magazine, and all of them seem to be saying the same thing. And then from my bookshelf, I pulled another favorite. It's called The Velveteen Rabbit. And why it's my favorite is because how could I talk about open, receptive, and welcoming if I'm not talking about authenticity? And authenticity is what this little book is about. Even though it's a kid's book, even though it's magical, it's a beautiful, beautiful story. So let me just read you my favorite quote. So this is a conversation taking place between 2 toys in the nursery. Toys that can talk to each other. Okay, so you have to do what we do when we go to the theater, suspend your disbelief, allow this to just be possible. Okay. And the rabbit says, "What is real?" asked the rabbit one day when they were living side by side near the nursery fender before Nana came back into the room. Does it mean having things stick out that buzz inside you, and a stick you can handle? And and the skin horse says, "Real isn't how you are made. It is the thing that happens to you when a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with you, but really loves you. Then you become real." "Does it hurt?" asked the rabbit. "Sometimes," said the skin horse, who was always truthful. "When you are real, you don't mind being hurt." "Does it happen all at once, like being wound up?" he asked. "Or bit by bit?" And the skin horse says, "It doesn't happen all at once. You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't often happen to people who break easily or have sharp corners or who have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off and your eyes drop out and you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But these things don't matter at all because once you are real, you can't be ugly except to people who don't understand. And then the rabbit goes on to ask if the skin horse is real. And see, what I think is when we're coming from our God self, when we're seeing through the eyes of love, then no matter what a person might look like on the outside, no matter what their actions may be or the words may be, what we're seeing is God's life force being used in a certain way. And we learn to see it with love and great respect and make it welcome. Make it welcome. Starting, of course, within your own self. So, are you real? Yes. Right now, you are. Has all your hair been loved off? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe your eyes have dropped off. Oh, maybe they haven't. Because unlike a toy, for us, it isn't about the length of time we've lived. It's about the quality of that living. So anyone from 4 to 104 can be demonstrating realness, welcoming, receptivity. In fact, I think that children are naturally it, and then we teach them. And then we teach them. Okay. So, to be open, be real, authentic, to be receptive. Are you the kind of person that likes to meet other people? And when you meet other people, are you curious about them? Are you curious about how God shows up as them? What their strengths are, what their passions are, who they are? You know, I think that's part of the answer. Be curious, be authentic. And then, does your face know? You know, it's really, does your face know that you're welcoming? Does your face know that you're loving? Does your body know? Or is it such a well kept secret that it never gets from here to here? Today's the day. It's pretty simple to make a decision and then to do the discipline, to do the work to change the consciousness. Because it may take time to change our mind about things. But if we're committed, it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. The tools are already available to you: prayer, meditation, reading, affirmation, imagination. See rightly. One of the things that Wallace Waddle says in Earnest is that our job is to be grateful for what it is that we've seen in our imagination before we ever see it out here. Do you understand how powerful that is? So, what it means is Emerson's words: even in the muck and mire of things, something sings. In that muck, in that mire, when you've been disappointed, when you've been hurt or abandoned or betrayed, right then is when you're called to be welcoming, to be curious, to be open, and to be disciplined in seeing what you want and being thankful for it. Because God is good. And so it is. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Diane's going to set the consciousness, and then I'm going to pray for all of us.
Everywhere I am is holy ground, for I walk in God. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of pure spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Everywhere I am is blessed ground, for I live in love. Everywhere I am is blessed ground, for the power and the presence of God's love makes me open, welcome, and receptive. Holy, holy, loving God.
And from that place of oneness, from the place of wholeness, I speak my word and I do it for each one. I'm saying it in the first person. So if there's something that doesn't fit for you, just let it slide by. And for everything else, just inwardly accept it. This is what I know is true. I know that there is only one life, and that life is God's life. That it is the Alpha and the Omega, that it is the creative process in everything and everyone, that it is right now, that process that is moving through me and through each one as the creative mind, as the creative word, as the intention for greater good. So I speak this word for peace of mind, for an experience of connection and oneness and wholeness. I speak this word for love, for connection with each other, for connection with Source, for God's love, and for the friendships that are given birth to with God. I give great thanks that this mind that is the one mind opens itself to me to reveal the magnificence of my creative imagination, of the good that I choose, of the difference that I make. I know that I'm here consciously aware of my oneness with Source, consciously aware of the energy that I exchange with other people, consciously aware of the many gifts that I receive from others, and I consciously give back to life from that place of oneness. I speak this word for the wholeness that I am, for the well being that I am, for the physical health, vitality, energy, youthfulness, and aliveness that I am. And I speak this word for the expanded consciousness of abundance, of richness and wealth that is mine, it is each one's. I faithfully use my imagination, and I faithfully see an increase and an impulse toward good. I know that it's already so. I know every aspect of my life is filled with the greatness of God, the glory that is God's. And so I am grateful. And that grateful expands all good. It expands everything that I see, that I feel, that I know. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you, God. From this place of gratitude, I simply place this word in law. It is complete. And please help me to anchor it by saying with me, and so it is. Thank you,
Thank you
Diane.
so much, Reverend Heather. And please welcome back Debbie Wheeler.
An intense call to action. Thank you. You know, if we can't do that, who can?
The road is long with many a winding turn that leads us to who knows where, who knows where. But I'm a strong enough to carry. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. And I know that he will not encumber me, 'cause he ain't heavy, no. He's my brother, and if I'm leading at all, I'm laden with sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with the gladness of a love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return. While we're on our way to there, why not share? For the Lord, I know that load won't be hard to bear, 'cause he ain't heavy, no, he's my brother. He ain't heavy, he's not heavy, he's my brother.
Debbie Wheeler, thank you so much.
That was beautiful, Debbie. Thank you. Both songs are just lovely. It's time for us to share our gifts, our tithes, our offerings. So if the stewards would come forward, just reminding ourselves that everything is increased by gratitude. So just take a moment. If you have something to give this morning, place it on your heart and feel grateful for it. And for the 90% that's still in your bank account, just feel grateful. Feel grateful. And now repeat after me. Divine love in me blesses and consecrates all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give. I give with love, and I love to give. And so it is.
And here's Michael helping me out on a little whole new world vision.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Unbelievable sights, indescribable feeling, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling through an endless diamond sky. A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
100,000
Hold your breath, it
things
gets
to see.
better.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. I can't go back to where I
A whole
used to
new
be.
world, new horizons
Every
to
moment with
pursue.
letter,
I'll chase them anywhere. There's time to spare. Let me share this whole new world with you. A whole new world. That's where we'll be. A thrilling chase.
A wondrous place
For you and me.
Michael Bullard, help me out there. All right. Now let's bring those kidlets in.